one day I remember my channel is having like 100 views per day or 200
Mm-hmm.
views per day. Like it had been going like very slowly
Mm-hmm.
upwards. And then one weekend, my channel went from getting like 1,000 views per day
Mm-hmm.
to getting 10,000 views per day.
Wow. Holy
And you can
crap.
see this graph just like
Mm-hmm.
whoosh, just up in the skies, you know?
Wow.
And because I had affiliate products in the back end,
Mm-hmm.
I was making like $50 or something
Mm-hmm.
from my AdSense,
Okay.
but I was making like $200 on the
Wow.
affiliate marketing.
Per day
And I was
or
just like,
just
yeah,
uh-huh.
per day
Wow.
from 10,000
It's
views.
crazy. Welcome everybody to the Your Best Self podcast. My name is Robert Hurt, and today I have the honor to be interviewing Andy Hafell, who is not only a good friend of mine, which I got to meet in Thailand, Indonesia, Germany. Dude, we met up so many times, but who's
Yeah.
also my mentor when it comes to YouTube. And he basically was the inspiration why I started the Your Best Self channel and now also the podcast. So we're going to go deep into Andy's story, what he was, doing all his years in the online journey, and also what he's doing right now. And we're also going to go into his YouTube course and what he can do to you so you can start a YouTube-based business if that is something that you want to do. So Andy, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. I'm so happy that I am your first guest on this podcast. And
Thank you.
for all of the people watching, I just want to give away as much value as possible. So hopefully you can. So what I'm passionate about is affiliate marketing and YouTube. And if you guys can walk away with some affiliate tips or some YouTube tips that you probably didn't know before, if that happens, I think I've done my goal basically.
Yes, absolutely. So Andy, share with us, how did you get into this whole online journey stuff? Like, why did you search for opportunities online?
So it is kind of twofold. When I was out of the army, I saved up all the money I had from the army, and I was in the Norwegian army, and I was standing in front of the castle with like this hat and this like gun, standing
Wow.
really straight up and down for like 3 hours, just
Oh
up and
my
down,
God.
like, and it really sucked. So after the army, I saved up all the money I had to go traveling to Thailand or Southeast Asia for 4 months. And I went to like Thailand, Vietnam, Bali, all these different places.
Yeah.
And I met all these different amazing people with adventures. I learned scuba diving in Thailand. I bought my own motorcycle riding around in Vietnam.
Nice.
I learned to surf in Bali, and I had all these amazing people around me with all
So
these
awesome.
fantastic adventures.
Yeah.
But then I remember my bank account just started getting a little bit low, so
Shit, yeah.
I had to go back again to Norway. And I can remember my plane landing, and I'm walking outside trying to see like how the weather is, and it's just rain. It's just gray and rain. It's so bad. And I'm like, you can see my face just like, I want to go back again.
Yes.
So that's kind of what started me on this journey. The real thing though was that I saw my mom and dad and my brothers, and nothing had changed. When I came back, nothing had changed. It felt like I had this amazing new life discovery kind of. I've never had this life before, and then nothing had changed, like back home. And I was like, holy shit! Like 4 months, I don't know if nothing changed in 4 months, and is this my life? Is this is the life I'm gonna have?
Is this it? Yeah.
That's when I said to myself, like, I need to make money online so I can travel the world again.
Yeah.
And now a lot of time has passed, and I'm traveling the world right now. If you can see behind me, it's a pretty nice view.
Yeah.
It's looks like I'm in heaven right now.
Kind of, yeah.
It's like a penthouse kind of apartment, which I cannot believe that I was there 5 years ago. I went back home from traveling, and I started maybe about a year after that, kind of fickling and doing a couple of different things, but that's kind of...
No. I will, go back a little bit here because I can totally relate to your experience of, traveling, then coming back and just feeling kind of like this depression kind of thing inside of you, because you just had like, months of amazing time. You were free, you were traveling, you were enjoying your life, and you could just do whatever, right? And I was also traveling for 2 months in Southeast Asia, basically. And I can totally relate to that, where we came back and it was gray and dark and rainy. And I was like, man, I just want to go back. Like, this sucks right here. Right. So a lot of people probably out there, they just want to travel around the world and see new things. So, if that is something that you want to do, guys, then you should definitely listen closely here, because Andy is about to drop some very, very golden nuggets. So you started online, right? And you've been doing a couple of different things here and there. When did you realize, all right, YouTube is the thing that I want to do mainly?
That's a very good question. So I did a lot of different things. I think the first 2 years or something like that, I dedicated to like a travel website. I did a lot of affiliate marketing stuff, but then I also got caught up in this course buying shit where I made this new website that was a Shopify store. And then I was like, oh man, I'm going to do this Amazon FBA shit where I'm like finding products from China and sending them to, and it was just like, holy crap. Like, I need a lot of money. I need a lot of time. And it was easy back then. Now things have gone so much harder because it's literally a shitty product from Alibaba or AliExpress. But what I did was Kindle direct publishing. And I think I published like 7 books. And it is making me passive income to this day. But I never really got to the level where I got a team and I got to outsource all of it. I was doing most of the work myself. And I know that I could have basically passed, or I could have gone a lot further and a lot faster if I were to hire and to systematize all of it. But I didn't know that back then, but I did the Kindle publishing thing, and then I did a travel website where I grew all my social media following to a lot of really high. I think I had like 67,000 Twitter followers, which is a lot. Pinterest, I had like 10,000 followers or something like that.
That's crazy.
And I actually started making YouTube content, and this is kind of where everything was. So I remember posting on this travel website every single day. Like, I was relentless going on Pinterest and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all of the different platforms. And I remember one day I was just so tired of working on this website for like 1 or 2 years. And I was just saying, like, I'm done. I'm done with this website. I want to touch this website. It's kind of like a ex-girlfriend, kind of like an ex-girlfriend who's like, one day you're like cool, and then one day it's like, this is over. This is I'm never looking at you again. So that's kind of what I had. And then my mom said, go to college, you little entrepreneur piece of shit.
Oh no, she wasn't supportive at all of this online journey.
She did become supportive.
Okay.
But
once you
hearing
saw
that little entrepreneur. So I remember being in college, and in college is very fun. Like, you get a lot of new friends, and you go to parties and stuff like that. And one day I remember checking up on my travel website, and I was checking my blog, and I would see the blog is just going slowly down, and I feel like, oh shit. And then I check my Twitter, and then I check my Instagram, and everything is just going down and down and down. And that's when I found that YouTube had actually been going up.
Oh,
it has been going upwards. And
even though you haven't been posting anything. You haven't been posting anything.
nothing. Wow. And I have this perfect screenshot of showing this, but it's if you can imagine, like, we're posting videos like almost every single week, and then I'm stopping for 7 months, and it has like no videos, and then you see like the stats just going up and up and up. And I check my stats. And I can remember one of the videos got, I can't remember. I think it was 100,000 views or something like that.
Wow.
No, 200,000 views, I think, which is like the size of 3 football stadiums.
Wow.
Like 3 massive football stadiums watching my video. And I'm like, oh my God, that's insane.
Nice.
So I checked like the analytics of how much I earned from those views, like 200,000 views. And it was $69.
$69 from 200,000 views. Oh my God.
Yes. So
Well,
that's when I found out, like, whoa, this YouTube thing is powerful, but relying on AdSense or advertising on YouTube is not really good.
yeah.
So that's when I started a new YouTube channel. And I started from the beginning, just started like finding affiliate products and knowing that the affiliate product is what drives the content. And the content and the affiliate products are in harmony with each other. And well, I started posting again on this new channel, and I was like, because the travel niche kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It's like top 10 things, and it's all these different names that you can't pronounce. And you have to search up these different things that you can't pronounce, and then you try to say them, and then in the comments down below, they're like, "You said this wrong, you little shit."
Oh
yeah, it's not the Oprukati waterfall, dude.
That's nice. So then you basically started the channel now.
Yes, I started the channel, and I started posting like very valuable content on how to go on Twitter, how to go on like all these internet-based or digital marketing kind of based videos. And I think I posted for about 6 months just relentlessly on this channel, and just kind of said, forget about this other one. And channel is having like 100 views per day or 200 views per day. Like it had been going like very slowly upwards. And then one weekend, my channel went from getting like 1,000 views per day to getting 10,000 views per day.
Holy crap.
And you can see this graph just like whoosh, just up in the skies, you know?
Wow.
And because I had affiliate products in the back end, I was making like $50 or something from my AdSense.
Okay.
But I was making like $200 on the affiliate marketing
per day,
and
or
I was just like, per day, from 10,000 views.
Crazy.
And I'm just the happiest man that I could ever be. And
I bet
I have kind of just like stacked on top of this to create a lot of passive, just use YouTube mostly for passive income because I like being as passive as possible.
Awesome. So you were posting for 6 months roughly. Have you been posting every single day, or how many times have you been posting a week?
I think that was not every single day. It was maybe every other day or something like that. I remember I was in college at the time, so I didn't really, I went to the classes a little bit, but then
Just
I didn't also. So I remember it's maybe, I think every other day or every 3 days, I think. But I remember just being very focused on this one thing and just like, okay, all I need to do is one video equals more chance to go viral. So one video, just keep publishing videos. And that was kind of the
and it's also a great goal to have, right? This only like, all right, the task for the day is just this one video, and then you are basically done, right? And I love the keyword that you just said is, you know, being focused on this one single thing, because I think a lot of people can relate that when it comes to this online space, there are like thousands and thousands of different opportunities that you can go into. And most of the time what people do is that they literally just try to do all the things pretty much at the same time. And I personally have went through that, you know, so many times. And we talked about that, you know, as well, where I was just so scatterbrained and I was doing this and next to that and then doing this and this, and nothing really got, you know, off the ground. Which is why 2020 is the year of focus for me, where I only, you know, focus on this one thing on YouTube, because I just saw Andy's, you know, growth. I remember, you know, back then as he was here in Hamburg and we met up, I think at that time he had like 20,000 subscribers or something. And right now he has 176,000, I think, something around that, right? The 76,000, which is immensely, you know, the growth is huge. And we've also been on a, you know, same mastermind, right, where we have been meeting up every single week, and we talked about who is going to be the first one to hit 10K per month, right? And we all said, you know, I'm going to be the one. But I always, like, deep down, I knew that Andy's probably going to be the one, because he has, you know, already something going for him with the YouTube channel. It just like had so much growth. And I'm pretty sure that, Andy, you became the one, right, that is sort of making 10K a month.
Yeah, how's it going with other people? I don't know
Yeah,
the guy.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think I was I
Mhm.
think I was, but I think I was at 10K when we started. I think I
Really?
already was at
Have you?
10K.
Wow, that's great. All right, guys. Then you see why YouTube is so incredibly powerful and why you should get started, into YouTube. Awesome. So you have been working 6 months, basically relentlessly focused on the YouTube thing. You saw the growth, you saw the money coming in. So you basically doubled down on that, right? And just thought,
Yeah.
right, this is just what I need to do because I can fund my lifestyle. I can travel because I can do videos from basically anywhere, right? And when did you started traveling or realizing, all right, I don't need to be at home right here. I can just go travel and do whatever. When was that?
Oh, oh, well, I kind of had to break up with my girlfriend first,
Oh.
which was kind of a big, painful thing to
Mm,
do, but that I'm very grateful for now.
mm-hmm,
But we had like this big fight,
mm,
and or basically in the house things weren't really as good as I wanted it to be,
mm-hmm,
and it was a lot of negativity and
mm,
complaining from her side while I'm
mm-hmm,
very focused and stuff like that.
mm-hmm,
But I quite like working actually, and this is
mm-hmm.
maybe a little contrarian kind of
Yeah.
because what I'm selling is like the lazy lifestyle. I want
Mm-hmm,
everyone to be as lazy as possible. But what
mm-hmm.
happened is that I tried just sitting around for 2 months, not doing anything. That is really, really boring.
Really boring,
It's so
yeah.
boring.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. So now what I'm kind of focusing on is more of my long-term vision, my
mm-hmm,
goals, and my 10-year goals, my
mm-hmm,
20-year goals, and all this stuff.
mm-hmm,
And I want to accomplish a lot of things. I have
mm-hmm.
a massive vision, but
Awesome.
the travel thing is I I I kind of had the feeling you were talking about when I got that spike, that first
Mm-hmm,
spike, where I'm like, I made it, kind of.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was when I kind of could travel the world, but I
Mm-hmm,
wanted to stay in college because I really wanted to do that.
mm-hmm.
Because the college experience is something you never kind of
Yeah.
have.
Forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I started traveling like about now it's about a year ago.
Awesome.
It's
It's
fantastic here.
fantastic,
It's so
right?
amazing. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
amazing. It's all the stuff that I've been able to do and the people I've been able
Mm-hmm.
to meet and the food. Oh man, the food is
Mm. Yeah.
amazing.
Just so you guys
Eating
know,
things you've
yeah,
never eaten
exactly.
before.
That's awesome. Now, Andy just have been, in Thailand for a month. Then he was in Bali. Then he was in Amsterdam for I think like 2 months or 3 months, and now he basically is in Buenos Aires, Argentina for 6 months. So he's going on and on and on, and he's just traveling around the world, which is I think a dream for a lot of people to have. So you already talked a little bit about the vision that you have, right? The long-term vision, and I know we've talked about that previously, and I personally thought that it's a great one because this whole consumer versus creator mindset is a very, very important topic, which I would love to talk to you about as well. So if you don't mind, please share your long-term vision with us and what you want to achieve.
Yes. So this is what I'm most passionate about now, and basically my mission is to, or well, the problem, if we can start with the
Yeah.
problem, is that I see that the biggest problem in the world right now is something called input junkies, and I love
Hmm.
using this term, and I think I'm the only one, or I'm the only one that I kind of made it, I think.
Yeah.
But input junkies are basically people that just get input into their head. If that's
Hmm.
audiobooks, if it's social media, if it's Netflix, if it's YouTube, anything that goes into you,
Hmm.
that is an input.
Yeah.
Well, what I really care about is outputs.
Hmm.
So if you make something, if you make architecture, if you make software, if you make a hammer, if you make a giant fleshlight
Hmm.
that you can pleasure yourself with, if you make something or if you output something in the world, you you do something or you make
Hmm.
something. And I think the greatest things that has been created by man are creations.
Yeah, sure.
The things that people input have been made by people that output. So the biggest problem I see is that kids nowadays.
Yeah.
So I know I'm only 25 when I'm talking about kids,
Yeah.
but kids nowadays, their entire life is with a phone. And even when they're changing the baby's diaper, they're having an iPad.
Yeah,
They have
like,
one guy change the diaper and then one hold the iPad. Like
Oh
that
my
is
God.
that the kind of parenting we have now.
Yeah.
So I think that the kids' brains will sort of be very, very, because our brain develops very fast in the beginning years. And it will kind of begin developing into a brain that cannot do output. You can only do input. And there's kind of no studies from this, but it's very, very obvious to how the brain works and stuff like that. And yeah, we've been talking about this before, but I think that's the greatest problem in the world. So my mission now is to make things myself. I'm going to output as much as I can in the world. I'm going to hang around with other people that make things. And then I'm going to inspire other people to make things.
Yep.
So that's all amazing. I care about. I care about people making stuff, anything, if it's drawing, if it's audio, if it's script, if it's poetry, if it's architecture, if it's art, anything. I love the creative process and the outputting of things. And if I die and I leave the world with 1,000 more creators or 1,000,000 more creators, or I've inspired 10 million people to create something, well, that means that I've done my job and I can leave the world with another world that is a lot better than what I left it, So that's kind of where I am now.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. I totally agree with you that, just the consumer was creator mindset was something very, very important in my personal journey online as well, because I noticed that while I was, studying, right, while I was going through all those products, I've been buying all of them and trying to build my online business, all I was doing was consuming. But then at one day, I kind of like got this switch where I realized, all right, dude, like you are only reading books, you're only buying products, you're only, listening to audiobooks, but you do not put something out there. You do not create Facebook posts, you do not create Facebook Lives, you do not create videos, no products at all. So that's for a lot of people that are online right now that are consuming all the time. And you guys know who you are. If you're watching this, you're basically consuming something, right? So really think about that and go deep and think about, all right, so what could I potentially create? Like, where do I have this creative genius in me that I could create, whether that's a new product, some art, as Andy said, or maybe create a YouTube channel about something that you love. So while we're talking about that, is it too late to start YouTube, or will it ever be too late to start YouTube?
Oh, the thing about output is that let's imagine you're a person that has been inputting information into your brain for 20 years. The only thing that you have been making are things that you have been told you need to make this now. And that is from school, right? So essays or presentation or something like that. Well, your brain is susceptible now to just input and directions. So how do you actually create that inspiration from within yourself to actually go out and do something that most people don't want to do, or no one is telling me to do this? Is this a good idea? Well, the first thing is it starts with the small things. It starts with the very, very small things. So if you just start outputting anything, into the world, if it's just a small little audio file, if it's just a small little clip of yourself and selfie with your phone, or if it's something like that, I promise you that if you just do one single micro thing like that every single day, or every single day, it's hard for people. But if you start the process of like having a tiny little video or a tiny little thing, that you don't show anyone, don't show your friends and family, because you'll go like, this is fucking, no, I'm never gonna do this again.
Yeah.
Just hide
Right.
it. Just hide it until you're really good. That's what I did, by the way.
Okay.
And that will basically start taking care of yourself. But you need to make sure that you output something, and then you need to get someone, or then you need to get some sort of feedback, some sort of, oh wow, you did good, or oh wow, someone likes this, because then you're like, your brain is like, okay, I made this, people like it, I should make more.
Yeah.
And then it's like this circle of like, okay, I made something, people like it, I should make more. And this feedback, it's like creating good habits, right? It's like the trigger, action, feedback, reward system kind of.
Yeah. And I believe that, this feedback, or this positive feedback at the beginning is incredibly important, right? Because especially when we put ourselves out there, because a lot of people have the fear of judgment, a lot of people have the fear of failure, and especially when they're just starting out and are putting themselves out there, this positive feedback is very crucial, because we don't know if we are doing things correctly, right? And we want to have this positive kind of like, affirmation, or just, hey, you are on the right track. That's kind of like what we want. And that's also what I love, about your tribe as well, right? Because they give you the support. If you have questions, if you have, something you want feedback, they will give it to you, and they will inspire you to, start and, create great things. So, I just quickly want to go back with a yes or no question. Is it too late to start YouTube? Yes or no?
Oh, too late? Oh, never too late.
Never too late. All right, great.
YouTube is the only video platform. There really is no other long form video platform.
Yeah.
So as long as YouTube is still the number one YouTube or video platform, which I think will be for the next like 20, 30, 40, 50 years, until Google dies and some horrible, weird alien takeover shit is happening. But until then, I don't see Google, Amazon, or Facebook going anywhere.
Okay.
Like, those are really solid businesses,
Yeah, I bet so as well. So, there are a lot of people out there that perhaps they want to start YouTube, but they are afraid. Obviously, as I just said, they are afraid of being judged. They're afraid of failing. They're afraid of, showing their face on camera. Is there a way for those people to go into YouTube without, or just like going around those fears at the beginning? I obviously know the answer, but, shed some light on that as well.
Yes, of course. Some people are very comfortable in front of a camera. I'm not. So what I started doing is just reading a script, basically. That's what. So I started with just writing the scripts myself. So this was in the travel times, right? So I was in my shitty little basement in my mom and dad's house. It was so dirty, filled with all these energy drink cans, underwear on the ground and shit like that. But I would write all these articles from top 10 things to do in Bangkok, top 10 things to do in Jamaica and Tahiti and stuff like that. And I basically wrote the entire script, and then I voiced it into a microphone. And I remember my voice. If I look at my voice, it's just like so weird compared to now. It's like day and night. Then I just took some video editing stuff. So I basically took some clips, some stock videos and some stock footage, some images that I was zooming in and stuff like that. Just learned basic video editing, and I just started uploading those. And that was kind of the first start I got into YouTube, that I was not showing my face, and I could really, again, I didn't show my family or friends this, because I think it was really
cringy,
scary. But kind of when my videos got like 10,000 views, I think I remember just like, look at this, I made this.
Yeah.
And they were like,
oh really, you did? Nice.
So nice.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so it's all based on practice as well, right? Because you will slowly start to realize, hey, there is something with this, right? And as Andy just said, like, you don't need to put your face out there in the first video and be like, hi, my name is Bob, And today I will
Yeah.
show you. That's probably how it's going to be in the first few takes, right? But that's completely normal. And you just got to realize that every single YouTuber out there started somewhere small. And I love going way back to those, super successful YouTubers into one of their first few videos and just see kind of like how cringy they have been. And that's
I
kind of
know,
what
yeah.
we need to realize, right? Because we only see those super successful ones and they're so good on camera, and we perhaps start comparing ourselves to those people, or we just want to be there, but we are still here and we just see the lag, right? We just see the lag,
Yeah.
but we just need to realize, hey, they started somewhere as well. They started small. They have been shitty on camera as well. And you don't even need to be on camera. You can literally, as Andy just said, have a script, have some pictures that are just zooming in, zooming out, and people love that as well. Like, as long as you're providing some value and as long as your content is interesting and is helping people, people will consume that, right? So don't be afraid to get into it, right?
Yes, a big misconception a lot of people think is that, okay, they hear about YouTube and the first thing they think about is Logan Paul walking around in the forest filming a dead guy, or they're thinking about the gamers or the Minecraft Let's Players, or maybe they're thinking about personality-based video. And everyone watching got to realize that YouTube is not a personality-based platform. Like, you don't need a personality. You don't need to be charismatic. You don't need any real super skills. I had this one guy. He's not one of my students, but he's one of my students. He's an Indian guy that has a 4x4 room that he doesn't do anything except to write scripts, read them into a microphone, and do video editing. Now he's at $10,000 a month from India, with an Indian voice, with no other skills other than reading the script with an Indian voice into the microphone. If
that's
he
crazy.
is Indian and can do it from this 4x4 room with a bed in it, by the way, a bed and a desk,
that's crazy.
You can do it too. Yes.
Exactly.
So also the personality-based thing is like, if this Indian guy made it about himself, would he be good? Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
But since his niche was something he was interested in and he can help people with it, and he was like, okay, showing pictures and images and video is way better than showing myself on camera. No one gives a shit about how I look like.
Yeah.
When you kind of change around that, it's like, how can I help the most people through video? When you think about it like that, and how you can make it as entertaining as possible without you being even a personality. Why should people listen to the personality when you can just keyword research a good title and then make a video?
That's fantastic. And and nowadays there are so many softwares and so many great tools that make it so incredibly easy to just put out, high quality videos that are valuable to a certain audience, right? So that's what I love about, today's technology. It's so fastly evolving and it's giving us so many great tools to be working around and to just, build a business on YouTube as well. So now, since we are on the topic of, kind of like false beliefs or misconceptions when it comes to YouTube, are there some, also certain like false beliefs or misconceptions more about YouTube, which people think they need to have, but they don't actually need to do certain things?
Oh yeah, there's so many misconceptions. But I think the main one that people are afraid of is obviously showing my face, not being charismatic. Those that we're already talking about. The thing is that people think it takes a really, really long time to be successful on YouTube. And of course, there are a million examples of people being shit at YouTube. But when you have a new YouTube channel, you start with I like looking at it like a pyramid, but immediately when I say pyramid, people think pyramid scheme. So I'm going to say skyscraper. Okay. We're building a really cool skyscraper. And you start off with like the base. You start off with the base and you got to work your way upwards. However, if you start with the end in mind, if you start at, okay, this building is going to be this tall. We're going to have this amount of windows on it, and we're going to sell this amount of products, make these videos. We are going to use these types of thumbnails consistently across the entire thing. We're going to have the content be structured like this. When you set up everything perfectly from the beginning, you can kind of be you can be a time traveler. You can kind of you can kind of see, okay, I have set out to hit this goal with these variables. Now that X time has passed, how far have I gotten? Okay, shit, if 6 months goes by and these variables have been consistent and they've been the same across the entire thing, well, it's probably time to change some things. But just doing that consistently over a long period of time is something that people don't really look at. They kind of think, I'm just going to do something and then something can happen, right?
Yeah, it's just like it's gonna blow up. Yeah. So false expectations.
Yeah, just the one thing I think is the most important to everyone is just the consistency factor. Just the consistency factor, not with the, okay, I have to publish a video per week. So let's say you publish one video per week. That is consistency, but it's also consistency within your video. So you use the same intro style, you use the same content style and the same outro style. And then in the thumbnail of the video, does every thumbnail match? If you look at this thumbnail, can you see that this is your video as well? This is something that a lot of people do wrong, and then they start using blue thumbnail and red thumbnail and orange thumbnail. So, oh,
kind of looks weird.
Who is this really? Yes, that's why faces are really, really good. But other than that, you should have like a tiny little logo thing or a style that is similar to you. I don't know. So to take this skyscraper analogy, when you build a skyscraper, for example, on YouTube, it is every single video is a block. It is a block that you're building on top of each other. And in the beginning, like I said to you too, that in the beginning, these blocks that you're placing on this building are not worth anything. They have zero value to you. You get like 16 views or something like that, 20 views on some of your videos. You don't make any money from that. But, and this is the most important thing, every hour you spend making a video is a 10,000 per hour task. It's a 10,000 per hour task. Because now, if I spend an hour producing a video, or obviously it depends on the video, it's worth $1,000 to me for an hour of producing video.
That's
so
right.
If you think of yourself in the future like that, it's just like the task I'm doing now, which is a shitty task that I haven't done before and I don't really know how to do it. It's actually a $10 or $1,000 per hour task.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I mean, I love that, seeing that as a $1,000, dollar per hour task, because, as we've talked with Andy, previously was that, I started off, YouTube in 2020. I uploaded about, a few videos twice a week, and, the growth is slow, but it is there. And it's obviously, at the beginning, it sometimes can be a little bit discouraging, obviously, because, you need to be making money, but you are not. And the growth is slow. But as you said, like, hey, see it as, $1,000 for each video. This gives you a whole new perspective, because now you're like, I'm recording a video right now. That's like the most important thing that I need to do. And I'm making money. Because I know in the background, this video will bring me money, in the end. It's, one block, one after another, and you simply cannot get discouraged at the beginning, because it's going to take time. YouTube is a long-term game, and you need to have the right expectations when you're getting into that, right? So I love what you're saying here. And since we are already a little bit in the strategy part, let's say somebody who's viewing this at home right now is like, I thought about, I want to get into YouTube. I want to create a YouTube-based business. Let's talk a little bit about strategy. Like, what would be the steps? Let's say they have, a passion. They are very passionate around a certain topic, whether that's some kind of sports, whether that's dieting, exercising, video games, whatever that is. First of all, is it possible to create a YouTube channel out of every passion, or are there some restrictions?
There are absolutely no restrictions when it comes to YouTube. I've seen YouTube channels based around pickles. I've seen
True. Oh my
YouTube
God.
channels
Yeah, that's crazy.
based around hot chili peppers. These are only food related, obviously, but if I come up with more, there's probably a YouTube channel that rates poo, that
Oh
looks
my
at
God,
people's poo
yeah.
and then rates them.
Oh, that's so
I would
crazy.
not be surprised if you find that.
Absolutely, for sure.
So that is obviously a key thing. However, I think the number one key thing when you start a new YouTube channel is, am I going to be entertaining or am I going to be educational? So when you talk about entertainment, you talk about, okay, I want to start this comedy podcast, or I want to start this comedy, or maybe a top 10 channel, top 10 compilation, top 10 car crashes, top 10 soccer plays, or something like that. Or a lot of entertaining kind of vlog style. Gaming is also entertainment. But this is under the entertainment umbrella. When you look at the other spectrum of educating people, that's where the real money is. That's where the real money is. Because in those kind of education, when you're educating someone, they want to learn, or hopefully they want to learn, or hopefully they have a problem. They have a problem they're struggling with, and they're looking for a solution to that problem.
True.
Yeah, exactly. Or there's a million reasons why people want to educate themselves in a different thing. But with education, it comes information products, or it comes products you can sell. In stand-up comedy, if you do stand-up comedy, you can only sell tickets to your show. You can't really sell or you can sell a how to write jokes book, but that's not really going to make you that much money, you know? So then you would rather be a stand-up comedy teacher instead of an actual stand-up comic, because you'll be probably better at teaching it than doing stand-up comic yourself, you know? So I would find something you're passionate about, but it is in an educational space. So once you've figured out that you are a little bit better than someone else, you kind of look at, okay, what type of content can I create? So then you start searching on YouTube, you start searching like, for you, it was like self-development, right? So you look at what are all the other self-development people you doing on YouTube? And then you go on Google, what are all the other people in self-development doing on Google? And you start searching, you start typing, you start copying and pasting, and like getting this massive document of a lot of different information. And then you actually go on Amazon and you check out what are the top rated books in self-development. And you're like checking out the table of information. Like, okay, if he wrote a book about this, probably a lot of people are interested in chapter number 1, chapter number 2, and all of this stuff. And then like, holy shit, I got like 200, 300 video ideas right now. And then
like
it's
you're
like,
blowing my
okay.
mind right now, because I've never really thought about using books. Like I personally, obviously I have done my research, but you know, books is just an amazing thing because, you know, somebody took so much, you know, time and knowledge, you know, going into the book. And I'm like, why I've never used that, dude? Thanks so much. All right, continue. Sorry,
Yes. That's like one of the best things, and also going on Amazon and then going on Amazon reviews, and then you see actually what people are seeing in the book. And if you see that they're doing something bad, and this is like from Amazon bestseller kind of strategy, but you look at what the book did bad, and then you include that. But in a micro way, you can do that in your YouTube videos, right? And you can also check the comments, and you can get a million YouTube ideas of what you want to do. Now it's obviously filming this content, or maybe this video idea, or maybe this content is good, but I cannot find a title that makes it clickable. That is one of the things that I've had a big problem with my channel, which is like, I want to have a habits video, but I've tried habits videos in the past, and they're not doing very well. How can I find a hook that people will actually be interested in? And I've been thinking about like $1,000 a day habits, where it's like, oh shit, that like crosses the things. But you have to look at what are your audience, and then what do they respond well to. So I like to look at Amazon and then look at YouTube again, just kind of see like, okay, if the title of the video is this, and you don't know anything about the content inside the video, can I use this title that someone else has used to talk about the things that I want to talk about? So that's kind of a way. But
so basically model what works already, right? So like you research about your topic, you see, you know, what is already working, where do people already publish content about, where do people already watch content, and basically model after them, like be inspired by them, look at their content. Obviously don't copy it word for word, but get inspired by that, put your own twist to it, and then you can publish your own. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
I like it. I like that. And I teach that in my course as well. And we call it the piggyback strategy, where we look at the most successful YouTubers in the space. And then we look at their YouTube videos, because that is like the stat that they're looking at. Like, if this video has this thumbnail and it has this title and it is X minutes long, this many people have clicked on it, but that is just click-through rate. But then inside of the video, what happens inside of the video that actually makes people stay all the way to the end? Because that's the main thing. So you're looking at click-through rates, basically how many people clicked your video, and then the watch time, how many people stayed all the way to the end. And actually after, it's like session time. So that it's watch time and then session time. And after your video, do they continue watching more of your videos, or they do something else? Do they go off YouTube, or do they stay on YouTube? Do they go to Facebook, which is the worst, because YouTube doesn't like that. But stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool to know about, you know, the suggested video, or just the piggyback strategy, which you introduced to me as well. And I personally had my mind blown, because I probably look, one of the misconceptions that a lot of people have is also that they need to do like YouTube SEO, and they need to do keyword research, and only do, you know, find out what's the best long-term, you know, tail keyword and do a video about that. But you basically blew my mind by showing me the strategy of piggybacking off of other people's videos, and basically get the traffic from them in the suggested video site. Like, guys, you gotta see that as a gold mine, because now literally people are watching this influencer or this, you know, very successful person, and next to them, because you have done a video so similar to theirs, obviously didn't copy it, but, you know, you model after that, you have some similar thumbnail, you know, a similar title, and all of a sudden, those people that are watching this video, they see a similar video of you on the side, and they will click on that because it's pretty much almost the same. So you basically get the people, the audience, the traffic from those successful people that already have a flux of traffic, and they're going to come onto your site. And I think for you, that's like the majority of your traffic, right? Where the people are coming from. Is that right?
Yes, the suggested video thing is very, very powerful, because most of the views comes from suggested videos, or YouTube suggests you on the homepage or the sidebar of the video. And to get recommended on the sidebar, you need to be related to the video you're piggybacking.
Exactly.
However, where a lot of people go wrong with this, I see even my students, they look at other people's channels, and then they copy the title of the video, and they do a tiny little change. They do a tiny bit of a change. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, the problem I have is that they make a worse thumbnail and they make worse content. When they step inside the video, you can see that it's a webcast in the bottom corner. It has this staticky in the background with like air conditioner, maybe like something like that. You see the lighting quality is like the quality right here. And it's shit, you know? So when you're piggybacking, the crucial thing is to think, how can I make a better thumbnail and how can I make a better video?
Awesome.
Because if you can't really do that, and it's very simple, right? And like the algorithm sees that your thumbnail got more clicks. The algorithm sees that your video got more watch time, or people stayed all the way to the end of your video and stayed on YouTube longer than this other video that you're piggybacking. Do you think YouTube is going to send to their video or your video now? Probably yours.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Awesome.
that's kind of how you hijack that traffic. And you also know that this keyword is very successful and they got a lot of views. So that means that your video also can get a lot of views like that.
That's amazing, dude. Like, I think so many people do not know about this kind of strategy of piggybacking off of other people's videos. And I hope, guys, you appreciate, Andy sharing that, because that's actually something that he is teaching inside of his course and is usually only for the, paying students. But because of that, I think a lot of people right now might be like super excited about, seeing, what you're bringing to the table and, what kind of expert you are. And perhaps they're like, oh, dude, like, I think I want to start YouTube. Like, this is pretty amazing. This is pretty dope. So for those people right now, like, you obviously have a course, right? And I would like to talk to you, you about that and, show other people that, this course is pretty amazing. And not only because I am in that as well, and I just saw the value, but I also see, how Andy interacts with his students and how he goes out of his way to make sure that every single student has everything they need in order to, get results and succeed with this YouTube business. Like, somebody would ask a question and YouTube and Andy would come out with like a 40-minute tutorial video about certain, 5 ways you can do that. And all of a sudden you are like, holy crap, where did that come from, right? So you have an amazing course, which is called right now Passive Affiliate, and you are about to relaunch that to take off, right? So let's talk about that a little. What's inside the course?
Oh, it's a big thing to talk about.
Yeah.
But I think maybe I can start with why I created it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I saw the main thing that people were doing was not thinking long term. They kind of just started publishing videos, and all of a sudden they're in the groove, the habit of creating videos, and then all of a sudden you see like their videos is going down and down and down and down, and you see like maybe they have a little bit of success and then they just really stop getting success again. And it's very much like this cat and mouse kind of game. And this is one of the things that they rely really heavily on YouTube AdSense. This is one of the biggest problems I found. Like, if you rely on Google AdSense, it's shit. It's really, really, truly shit, because you're not making that much. Also, you could be making 5-6 times more if you're just doing affiliate marketing. What I do specifically inside the course that many other courses don't have is that I look at the affiliate products first. I look at the niche first. We look at, okay, if this affiliate product is good, what content can I create around this affiliate product that sells the affiliate product? And this is something that if you go into a YouTube course, it's like, okay, you pick your niche and then you start making videos. Go ahead and start making it. And when you start off like that, of course, I like it in the beginning. It's like, okay, once you get in the habit of producing videos, that's good, because that's like the number one thing that will get you success is producing videos, right? But then people don't know how to make money. They have no idea how to make money. So the course is mostly focused around how to find a really good product, and then how to create content around this product that will create you a lot of passive income. That's why it's called passive affiliate too, because you basically make an empire state building around a product that is really good. So it's not about you, it's not about entertainment, it's not about anything. It's just edutainment, or that's what I like to call it, like edutainment, like entertaining.
Well, infotainment, lots of different words about that.
And that's that's basically the strategy, or not the strategy, but that's the why, or that's what to take off is now. And
That's amazing.
I get it, it gets so much more. I can talk forever about
I
TJ
know, I
because
know.
it's my child, you know.
Yeah, I know, I bet. But give us like the short version of that, because I've seen the course, I've went through the material, and it's like different than so many other different courses, because not only does Andy have like this amazing personality, like, just to be honest, like, you just want to watch him do his stuff because it's so entertaining, and you are learning a bunch of stuff that you've never really thought about before when it comes to YouTube as well, right? That's why I was so impressed, by just seeing all those modules and learning all those amazing things. And I also see that his students actually get results, and that's probably like one of the main things of a product creator, is like how many of his students actually see results if they actually apply the formula, the content, the strategy that you teach inside of the course, right? So definitely a great course. And you're also, as you said, you are planning to relaunch the course, right? And I believe you also want to raise the price. Is that correct?
Yes, the pricing is a little bit weird now because it might cost $2,000.
Wow.
So if your audience watches this now, or now it costs, well, it doesn't really matter what it costs now because they're going to see this in the future anyways.
Exactly.
So if you get it for less than $2,000, it's probably a great steal. But we haven't really talked about how much value you're going to get out of that, obviously.
Exactly.
I encourage you to check out the webinar, check out the sales page of the product and see if it's a good fit for you. And I don't work with everyone. I don't work with everyone. I just focus on the people that want to see results. They want to start affiliate marketing. They want to start a YouTube business and not a entertainment childlike channel, where you're a businessman and you're not like running around with the camera just fucking shit.
Exactly. No, I just wanted to make sure that I'm on the correct side, that you are planning to raise the price, right? Because for the people watching this right now, perhaps it is still at the old price. So if that is, check out the link in the description down below. Check it out. I don't know how much it's going to be, but if you have a chance to get it below $2,000, which is absolutely worth the course, then you should definitely figure out, is it something that I want to do? And if you truly want to do YouTube and want to go into YouTube, then Andy will be the guy that can get you to where you want to go. And especially with his tribe as well, right? Like every single day, basically somebody new gets into the tribe and is like, hey, I'm so excited to get this started. And they're just like so pumped up, and everybody is just like so supportive and are like, hey, welcome to the tribe. Let's go. Let's do this. It's giving feedback about the channel art, the videos, the thumbnails. I personally post there every second day probably to check out like which thumbnail do you guys like more. So the tribe is absolutely amazing, and it's just like another value added bonus. And Andrew interacts with his tribe incredibly well as well. So check out the link in the description down below if you ever thought about getting into YouTube. I'm pretty sure Andy and I will kind of sort of figure out a way to get you a little bit of a discount. I don't know. We will check that out.
I definitely want you guys to get a special discount for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, man. So what will they see in the webinar? Will they get to see a little bit of, strategy as well, and, give them even more, why they should get into YouTube?
Yes, the webinar is amazing now. I think even if you watch the webinar and you don't buy at the end, that's completely fine. I think you can go around and you actually get like the workbook, and you get the templates and the fill in the blank script. I think you also get like all these really valuable stuff that you get after you watch the webinar. So you can definitely go into the webinar and start doing the strategies that I show in there. But I always think about free training the same. Like when you do something for free, or if you don't get into a scenario where you spent a little bit of money and you go into a group with other people, you haven't really done anything. So that's what I kind of look at it like. And also if you watch the free training and then you start doing it, I think that's the stupidest thing, because there are a million pitfalls. There's a million pitfalls that you can do. Even though the overarching strategy is amazing, I think you're going to learn a lot. Or especially if you have a YouTube channel now and you're already doing pretty well, watching the webinar is going to make you do even better, of course. But for total beginners that have never looked into YouTube, that kind of identify with that vlogger type gamer, look at what I show you in the webinar, because like your brain is going to flip upside down.
That's crazy. Yeah, I bet. So guys, check it out. I can't stress enough how, valuable the content is that Andy is sharing. And, as he said, like, even if you just watch the webinar, you're going to get so much value out of that. And you get new strategies, new perspectives when it comes to YouTube. And perhaps it is something for you. Just check it out. It's going to be in the linking in the description down below. And otherwise, if you want to, just connect to Andy and ask him a couple of questions, or just want to learn more about YouTube, you can also, leave a comment down below, and I'll make sure to get Andy to, answer those. Or simply, reach out to Andy himself. Perhaps you will have some time to answer those questions. So we are getting close to the end of the interview. But one question that I'd love to ask is, if you had the chance to teach the entire world one single concept, one single mindset, one single exercise to have the most positive impact on their lives, what would it be? Like, we actually talked about that, but I still wanted to get your opinion on that.
That's a strong question, man.
Yeah. I just want to, end this interview with that kind of
single thing that I would change with the world, or teach the world.
Teach the world. Like,
make them better.
Exactly. Like, if you had the chance to teach them one single concept, to make the world, a better place, basically, what would it be? I can share you mine, so perhaps you get an idea of what I mean. So for me personally, if I had the chance,
what if you steal mine and then I cannot come with my own?
then you can just say, hey, that's exactly what I want. But the chances that it's going to be the same, I doubt it. But for me personally, like, if I had to teach the entire world a single concept, that for me would be that every single one of us is creating their own reality. Like, it is in your hands.
Oh no, that was what I was trying to do.
Fuck you, dude. You got me there for a second. But basically, for me personally, it's like that every single one of us is creating their own reality. Like, it is in your choice right now that you not going to do anything and just sit on your lazy ass and just, consume video after video after video and do nothing with your life. Or you will go the route with, delayed gratification and start researching, start developing yourself, start reading books, start, getting courses, and, just develop your mind and do something productively that can give you long-term happiness and joy, right? Because that's what we are striving for. We all want to be happy. We all want to have a life of joy, right? So that's why that's why pretty much every single one of us needs to understand and get this concept that we are creating our own reality. Like, it's in our hands, not anybody else. And I think if a lot of people, if everybody would learn that, then they would simply live a better life. So that's kind of like what I mean, with one single concept.
One of my favorite quotes comes up when you talk about that, and that is, if you don't create your own plan, you are going to become someone else's.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
It's either you have a plan or someone else has a plan, and then you follow in their footsteps.
Exactly.
Is that really what you want, or do you want to make your own little pathway in the snow that you can get people to walk on with you and make the pathway stronger and bigger and get more people on to make it even better? That's what people are doing right now to most of the people watching, and it's not bad, but it's just that if you made your own reality, like, for example, that I have with helping people create stuff and inspiring others to create stuff, that is my path. That is the only thing I do every single day is to move towards that path. I hire people to come on that path, and that's all I care about. But if I would answer your question, I think it is to be 100% present in each and every moment
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the key that I have learned over the last 1.5 years, where I was a really, really big slave of Facebook and Instagram and Reddit, especially, because I was an input junkie like no one else, I was waking up and then watching Reddit for 2 hours, and then all of a sudden I can't even function once I'm up from the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess it's kind of twofold. Quit social media and all inputs. If you literally stop all inputs right now, which is the hardest thing in the world, by the way, it doesn't happen fast. But if you stop all inputs and start outputting as much as you can, your world would be so different. Imagine just spending. I see people having a screen time on their phone being like 8 hours on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, imagine you were sitting in front of the camera for 8 hours filming something.
Dude.
How much content would that be?
Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Awesome. So basically, guys, what I understand is, switch from the consumer mindset to the creator mindset. Start creating things in life. Start becoming, somebody great in life. And, I love, Andy's vision, because if we would all start creating what we are passionate about, right, then the world would be a better place, because it would be filled with awesome people that are sharing things about what they love, right? And if everybody loves what they do, then everybody's sort of happy, right? Obviously, that's not going to happen, because not everybody's going to take action, and lots of people watching this are just lazy, asses doing nothing. So if that is you right now, and you ever thought about, hey, I want to create something great in my life, then I give you permission right now. Just start doing it.
Start doing it. Make something.
Exactly.
Make anything.
Exactly.
Literally draw a little tiny
stick man.
A little tiny stick man, and then take a photo of it, and then make a private Instagram account that no one has access to, and then post that little stick man figure right there.
I love that. Literally
no
just like the
tiniest
start. Exactly. And it all starts with this one single little thing, and you will just build up on that and build up on that until you finally get more confident and do better things. And all of a sudden you'll notice, like, hey, that's actually pretty awesome. Like, people celebrate me for that. I love doing that. It perhaps gives me money. So, hey, let's do this, right? So I love this, ending here. I think a lot of people got some immense value out of this interview. So guys, rewatch it again.
Before, are we gonna end it now? Because I want to say one more thing about.
No, go ahead. Absolutely.
The mindfulness thing. So I said to be present in every moment, but I kind of didn't elaborate on it.
I'm sorry about that.
But I mean, the other thing that is the flip side, or the big side effect of social media and stuff like that, is that our mind and our body and our spirit and our soul is not in the present moment. It's just like you have 4 different things that you're thinking about right now. This game you're playing on your phone, this message that this girl hasn't replied to you yet, these Tinder swipes that you swiped on Tinder that you need to check up on, this Instagram post of your friend's party, and these other. It's so much stuff, right? And our brain is just bombarded with all this shit. And what happens is that you are alive and you're breathing and you look normal, but your brain is not there. Your brain is not present. You're not focusing. And
you're just
I've had first-hand experience. I've had big first-hand experiences from this, because I'm single. I can date girls. And I like going, because I'm in Buenos Aires now. I've been going on a little bit of a spree, if you know. And there's day and night. There's day and night difference from girls that are so into social media and people that are not. And the people that are not are so lovely, so amazing. When you talk, they listen. Isn't that
Oh my
amazing?
God.
That's a
Yeah.
new thing that,
That's
have you ever heard of something like that? They listen.
yeah, it's so
Jesus
rare these
Christ.
days, right? It's so rare.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so I think, and, uh, and also if you want to have a way better sex life,
Mm.
just don't look at social media.
Yeah,
Just
true.
be present.
I totally, social media is definitely a cause of a lot of anxiety and depression, as I said, because especially with Instagram, right? The people that are on Instagram and are sharing all those, perfectly pictured lives, and we look at all those things, we are like, oh man, my life sucks. Look at him, he's jet skiing in Dubai. Look at her, she's at this waterfall in Bali, and you are like at home, like on under your blanket, basically, right? The couch potato, and you're like, what am I doing with my life? And you just get yourself down, and you get this negative thought spiral of like, hey, my life sucks. What
Yeah,
am I
yeah,
gonna do? And you wish you would be living their life, but deep down you know that this will never happen because you are just this
yeah,
couch
yeah,
potato, right? And you just get yourself down, have this anxiety all the time. So this is extremely toxic, and a lot of people do not realize how much of an impact Instagram and Facebook and all those perfectly pictured lives have on their lives, personally,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
So I have not been on Instagram for about, I think 1.5 years now.
mm,
And the change it has had in my life
yeah,
is invaluable. It's
yeah,
invaluable because there's no value to it.
mm,
And the craziest part about all of it, and all of these people, because I have no, so I don't go to, so I don't have social media on my phone. It's always in my drawer. The only thing I
mm,
use on my phone is and and then Spotify. Those are
mm-hmm,
only the apps that I am allowed to use.
yeah,
um, and uh, and I don't go to social media and do anything except
mm,
publishing on it. So
yeah,
my brain is so different now than
mm,
most people's brains, and most people cannot realize or have the reality I have,
yeah,
uh, because it has been so. It's a social norm to be on Instagram.
mm,
It's a social norm
absolutely,
to be
yeah,
on all these social platforms. If you
mm.
don't do it, you're weird,
Yeah, you're
right?
missing
Like,
out, right? Like you
yeah.
don't have
Did you
Facebook? What?
see? Did you see Sabrina's photos from the
uh,
party last night?
mm. No,
I'm like,
what? You
what the
didn't?
fuck would I? Why would I do that?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
the worst thing is if your friends went to a party without you
Mm-hmm. Mm.
and they
Oh
post
yeah.
pictures and you wish you
Mm-hmm.
were there.
Yeah, and you're like,
That feeling is so
yeah,
bad. It feels
so
like, oh
bad.
shit, I
Mm-hmm.
wish I was at home in Norway right now with my
Mm.
boys drinking it
Yeah,
up. Can't.
yeah, true.
And 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 this is where probably one of my favorite quotes.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't see it, it doesn't impact you at all.
Mm.
It has
Mm-hmm.
zero impact.
Yeah.
So that's why, for example, on my YouTube comments, I don't look at every single YouTube comment,
Mm.
because if I see someone hating on me, which is a
Mm-hmm.
big toll and like evolutionary, it is a big
Yeah.
toll. Like someone going up to you, caveman
Mm.
days, like, ooh, ooh, you suck, and then walking away. Like,
You suck.
what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened now? And I feel really insecure. Like, do other people did he tell other people that I suck, or
Oh, I love that.
so your base instincts are not designed to be
Mm-hmm.
on the internet. Your
Yeah,
base instincts have
true.
nothing to do on the internet.
Mm.
So that's exactly like if you are in a tribe of 30 people and the guy is stronger and better and
Mm-hmm.
all of the stuff better than you. Well, you're going to start feeling insecure, and then
Yeah.
you're going to start feeling anxious, and then
Mm.
socially you're not going to do as well because you know that this guy is better than you, and
Mm.
all the other people likes him more than you.
Yeah.
Well, if you're in a tribe of 30 people that just one guy makes you
Mm.
feel insecure and anxious and stuff like that, if you watch this on every single day, you watch
Mm.
someone that you want to be, and that
Yeah.
you're comparing yourself, because comparison is one of the, like, core evolutionary traits that we have, like just comparing, it just happens instantly. You don't have to think about it even, and that makes us so enhanced.
Yes, absolutely, totally agree. And if you think about it, like social media and a lot of the things that we do are actually the root cause of being unproductive, because I think we can all relate, or like most people can relate, getting their phone out and first of all unlocking it 100 times even though we didn't really want to check it, right? It's just like this muscle memory. We unlock it, swipe to the right, Instagram, boom, right? And then we are there, and we actually do it unconsciously because it's just got so deeply rooted into what we do all the time for a lot of people. And like then you go onto the streak of, all right, I'm just gonna check Instagram for 5 minutes, and then check out all the stories, and then you scroll, and out of those 5 minutes it goes into 15 minutes, and then you're like, all right, let me just check Facebook again. And then you're half an hour in and you didn't get shit done, and now you used so much of your dopamine and your willpower that you don't have anything left basically to do the things that actually matter, right? So that's something that I personally had to learn as well, of not going onto my phone first thing in the morning, and really focus and use the willpower and the dopamine that I have on the tasks that are actually important, which is creating videos. So that's something that a lot of people need to realize as well, that this is actually one of the root causes of procrastination and also unproductivity, right?
One of the things I really found fascinating about productivity was when I stopped social media, and when I really thought about, okay, I just want to output, I don't want to input. When I thought about that, I said to myself, for a week, I'm only going to for 1 week, I'm going to work 12 hours every single day for 7 days. So 12 hours, which is it's a pain in the ass. It's a real pain in the ass. That's a long time. And when you're halfway, you're like, oh shit, 6 hours left, which is like a normal work day for most people,
Exactly.
So what I found with doing that was that I set these incredibly hard tasks, these immensely, really, really hard tasks that I didn't want to do at all. And then I had like different levels, like this really hard, really hard, really hard, and there's like softer, and then it's like all this stuff. When I found that I had this really massive task that I needed to do, all of a sudden I started doing everything else. Like everything else, but it was productive. It was productive. Like I started working on all these other things that I didn't really want to clean my room. I didn't really want to go work out. I didn't really want to go meditate. But it's like, little meditation is better than this one thing.
Exactly. So you just
kind of hacking your way. It's like if you set something that's so hard that you really, really don't want to do, and then something that's make a YouTube video, and then it's like,
I love that.
That's so easy.
Because we sort of always take the path of least resistance, right? But if the path of least resistance in that instance is even is still productive, then hey, go for it, right? So I love that idea of putting something so incredibly hard, and then doing things that are actually necessary for you to do, that you're going to end up doing those things because they are easier to do the really bad thing at the top. So I love that. But right now that most people, they have this very important thing that they need to do, and they do everything else except this one big thing, right? And it gives them the sense of being productive, hey, and of achieving, and hey, I'm doing those things, right? But they never see any results because they don't do this one thing.
That's kind of, that was probably bad advice, because if you set making videos as the top thing, you're gonna do everything else. Like you're gonna start the Pinterest account, and then you're gonna start the Instagram account because it's easier, and then that's bad advice. Don't do that.
Don't
make YouTube videos now.
Exactly.
That's probably just for me, when you get to the level of starting to run paid ads and webinars and having a team and all this, then you can start fucking going really, really hard with the goals.
Exactly. So perhaps set your goal that is so super high of like maybe create a webinar or create a product, and below that, that's, you know, creating video.
Yeah, that's good,
Right?
actually.
That's the stuff. That's the stuff that Andy, you know, wants you to do, instead of putting this top thing as a video and then, you know, all those shitty little things at the bottom here. So that's not the right way. But do that, you know, the other way
Yeah,
around.
I like that. I like that, actually. Maybe
Sure.
so. In order for me to make the hardest task I have right now is like the webinar and the to take off rebranding, or kind of all of that stuff. What should I put above that to make that easy?
That's a good, you know, perhaps it's maybe something where you know, physically have to get out and put on an event in Buenos Aires about teaching people about how to create an online business. That's something you're gonna sign up to Meetup, and you're gonna basically create a meetup of, you know, 50 people, and you need to teach them how to do affiliate marketing.
Oh my
God!
god!
About that. Yeah,
that's
that's
though. In
that would
Spanish.
be amazing, actually. Oh, shit. All right. Now we are next level.
Now we're talking. Yeah.
Now we're talking.
It's like so unrealistic.
Yeah. So
all of a sudden, I just spend all my 12 hours just talking Spanish. It's like, oh, shit, I'm not gonna do anything else besides this.
Like, but imagine, even though you would, you know, achieve that, like, how far in life would you be if you now could hold like a, you know, an event on Spanish, you know, teaching 50 people on Spanish how to make affiliate marketing work for them, right? That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So hey, perhaps that's something you should
maybe that's my next income stream. Yeah. Spanish speaking affiliate marketing course.
I've heard that the Spanish market is definitely underserved. Like, there's
Spanish
so much
for
potential.
Sure.
So guys,
and even in German, right? They have but German is a little bit more filled than the Spanish.
Yeah, it is, and Germans are just they don't buy it easily, right? Because they're so skeptical and so cautious. They don't have this impulse buy like they do, but not as Americans and all the other people do. But one thing that I want to say, guys, if you're watching this and you are Spanish, dude, you have a gold mine literally right here. Because if you can turn, you know, your Spanish skills into, you know, affiliate marketing or teaching something, dude, you could be making so much money. Because, you know, Spanish is it the second? No, it's probably the second or the third, you know, most spoken language, right? So there's a huge market that is not being served. So really think about, you know, doing that, because that's actually a gold mine. Yeah.
I'm on the new YouTube channel that I have now that I created. I'm gonna start doing in Spanish.
Wow.
I'm gonna translate all the videos to Spanish.
It definitely makes sense.
There's one friend of mine that has like a 1.2 million subscriber YouTube channel, and he made one in Mandarin and he made one in Spanish, I think. And I think was it Korean or something like that? It was a Asian speaking country anyways. And that channel had like 600,000 subs. Wow. And the Spanish one had like 300,000 subs, and he was starting.
That's crazy. And if you think about it, like, there are not a lot of people, you know, in that market. So now if you can take the knowledge that Andy is going to teach you and turn that into a, you know, Spanish speaking channel, dude, like, you would blow up so fast. So, you know,
man, yes.
My God.
I recently had one of the did a customer interview with a guy from Georgia, not the U.S. Georgia, but Georgia Tilapeli or something like that is a capital. I can't remember. But he started a new YouTube channel around taxes in Georgia, business opportunities in Georgia, hotels and travel, and all these different things about Georgia. And all of a sudden, he had 1,400 subscribers, which is not a lot, but for a tiny little niche, that's crazy. And the craziest part, he had 80,000 views.
Wow.
80,000. Yeah.
And if you think about it, it's
tiny,
like,
small thing. And what he told me is that he was walking down the street and some people recognized him. Some people recognize him on the street.
Really? Oh my God. So you can literally be in some kind of, you know, not shitty, but small village, right? And you can become famous in that village for creating, content in your language, right? It's actually fascinating that YouTube is such a huge opportunity for pretty much every single one, that is sitting at home right now, that is perhaps speaking a certain language, and you can turn that into some kind of knowledge or entertaining video and share it with other people that are speaking that kind of language. And probably not a lot of people are doing that in their own language. Like, I personally do not do that in German or in Russian, even though probably I could, and I could, do crazy things in there. But guys, it's some, food for thought. Like, literally, it can be
so much
your
opportunity.
business. Yeah, absolutely. Awesome.
My favorite story is probably one of the clients I had where back in the day, I actually run like a YouTube agency where I had clients for YouTube. And one of the clients, he was this, I'm not going to tell you too much about who he is, because he wants to keep this quiet. But he was in the English-speaking country or English-speaking niche in the digital marketing. So how to get people to make more money in business and stuff like that, software and all this. And he actually changed from the English market, even though he was making like $100,000 a month. He changed from the English market to the Italian market.
Really?
I was like, whoa, okay. The Italians don't really have that, and this is like the thought process. Like, the Italians don't really have that much money. It's a lot of ghettos in Italia. It's not really. It's a kind of a poor country compared to the other places around Europe. And I remember just like, why are you doing that? Well, now he makes a shit ton more money. Like, he makes so much more money. It's crazy to me. Like, he's a mini celebrity over there now.
Wow, that's crazy. And I personally, for me, it was as well. Like, why I started doing everything in English is that I thought that I would have more opportunities, because English is the language that's being spoken like the most, and I wanted to have all those opportunities and being able to tap into the American market as well. Whereas if I would have done it in German, I wouldn't have had that kind of opportunity. But still, I could be focusing down just on doing German, and it would work pretty damn good, just as Andy just said with the Italian guy. So do not think that you need to do English. Like, perhaps you have broken English right now and you can't get yourself, over this fact, and you don't want to put your voice out there. So if that's the case, use your own language. Do a YouTube channel based on your own language, right? Just that's kind of like what I wanted to add in here. Awesome, man. So is there anything else you would like to share with the audience here? Otherwise, we will, wrap this interview up so it doesn't get too long, even though we could probably talk like for hours and hours and hours and, provide so many more just valuable things, to people. And I love doing that, obviously. But somewhere that needs to be.
The last thing I want to say to everyone is progress is fun. And to see that you're shit and to see that you get a little bit better is really, really fun.
Yes.
And this is a lesson that I haven't really been thinking about before I started drawing. So this year I set myself a goal to just start drawing a little bit more, and I can kind of show you.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that.
Oh yeah, I think I have it right behind here. And it's gonna be some PG. It's gonna be some PG stuff in here as well.
Okay.
So all the get the kids out of the room.
Get the kids out of the room.
And I thought, like, I haven't been drawing. I loved drawing before, but I haven't been drawing for like 6 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And it started off just drawing, and oh no, this is way too PG. Oh no, this is way too PG. What am I drawing? It's starting off like this, and just having fun with it, and a little bit of buildings and stuff like that.
That's amazing.
I thought, if I can just draw anything, and here, like, this is like, oh shit, I'm not happy with this one. Like, oh shit, this chicken is not really good. And I drew this one. I really, really like this one.
That's awesome.
But the point is, okay, I'm gonna show you one more because this is my favorite
Okay.
all of
All
them,
right,
I
go
think.
ahead. Oh, that's actually really good. Dude, like the
Right?
detail? The detail, like
Right?
the shadow. Holy crap,
And
dude.
the
There's
fucking the back.
wow. That's actually
I like
pretty
it.
amazing, dude. Not bad. Not bad at all.
I
I'm
like it. I like it.
impressed.
Right?
I'm impressed. Yeah.
And I was looking at. I was thinking like, um, because I want to draw and because this is a
Mhm.
challenge I have for the New Year's of drawing a lot more, I
Mhm.
should make my a new Instagram account that I
Mhm.
don't share with anyone. I don't share
Mm.
anyone.
Okay.
Not my friends, not my family. Even my mom is like, I really want to see your art. I'm
And
like,
your
you're not
drawings.
gonna see
It's
it.
too PG. Too many
Yeah,
butts.
yeah, too many butts. And I thought, okay, if I'm not the best drawer right now,
Mm.
I shouldn't put myself down. I shouldn't put
Mm.
myself down if
Exactly.
I'm not the best now.
Yeah.
And because of this new Instagram thing where there's no one that knows me, there's
Mm-hmm.
literally zero chance that
Mm.
anyone that I know look at my stuff.
Mm.
I have no judgment.
Yeah.
And if you think about that, even the word to be
Mm.
judged
Mm-hmm.
is very scary. It's very
Yeah.
scary.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if you can, if you have the possibility of making something without being judged,
Mm-hmm.
or obviously overcoming that judgment will come over time.
Yep.
But my point is, progress is fun.
Yeah.
Progress is very, very fun. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that on this Instagram account that I posted this, where I think the ass is the coolest thing in the world,
Mm.
I wonder how it's going to be like in 10 years,
Yeah.
where I like just drew, like, let's say I just write 12, just
Mm.
12 in a year.
Yeah.
In 10 years, that's going to be
Yeah.
pretty cool to see the progress of
The
that.
progress, yeah, and I love that. And I personally, see that as well. That with every video that I make, there's just like this one little thing that I get better at. Whether that's in the editing process, whether that's finding perhaps a sound effect, or just creating the video in a better way. And it's so fulfilling, right? To be able, to see that you're making progress, that you're getting better. Because I think like making progress is so rewarding. Like even though
Yes.
you do not get like a huge result out of it, you realize, hey, I'm getting better at that, right?
Mm,
And that, to me personally, that is a lot of fun, and I totally agree
yeah.
with you. And you will get better. Like at the beginning you will suck, let's be honest, you will
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people are talented, right? But you got to be okay with that. And don't be afraid, to put yourself out there. As Andy said, try to, do that privately, in your own little box. Just get better at it, time by time. And then, with time, you will get over this fear of judgment, and you will simply get better, and people will realize that. So I love that. And I would, love to, end it in these terms of, getting people excited, say, showing them that they will get better at it, even though they might suck at the beginning. So guys, if you're watching this at home and you want to start YouTube, go ahead, check out the link in the description down below, and you will be your guide. He will be able to guide you to the YouTube success, to the YouTube holy grail of, success. You know it. So go ahead, check it out. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed this interview, guys. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up, and also make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. And Andy, thank you so much for your time. It has been an absolutely amazing interview. I really enjoyed it, and I'm pretty sure that the viewers, at home also got a lot of value out of that. So thank you a lot. Thank you again.
I'm very happy to be on the interview. Thank you so much. And then now
Awesome.
it's time for you to become your best self.
Exactly. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.